What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
That looks like it's got a smudge on it. Anyway, I hope you guys can see me. This is General Howitzer, and this is the Big Monster Briefing Room. Welcome to another episode. I believe this is episode 77. So we've done quite a few. Let me bring up my able-bodied assistant, Major Millie Hazzard.
Well, that's lucky number 77, but I'm not happy to hear about the smudge because it could be, a blob might have made the smudge, a Bigfoot might have made the smudge. You never know with these smudges. They could be an indication that we're under surveillance. It's possible,
those
General.
Bigfoot smudges are bad.
Well, they're awful.
Really
sometimes they come from fecal matter or mucus matter. You just never know. They're gross.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't lick the lens.
He might have licked the lens, or it could have been a gremlin. It could have been any number of things. There's insects that can leave a trail. I'm very disturbed right now. I'm a little disturbed about the smudge.
Get an alcohol wipe. That might do the trick.
Definitely, absolutely.
Okay, we're all set up to have a guest on the show. Kaiju Kim, who is making waves on Instagram, was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, she could not make it for the show. She had some family problems, so we wish her well. We hope everything is okay with her and her family. We are doing Gamera versus Jiger. We received some videos from a fan.
Why are you acting this way about this fan? It's like you're a little confused about the fan. I love this fan. He's a big supporter of the show. He's a fanatic. I personally like him. It seems like you are not a big fan. I don't know why.
Yeah, he is what he is. Okay, so
well, I think he's adorable.
I thought about it long and hard and decided to run this video. And I think there's more than one video, right? Am I right?
Yeah, you got 3 videos here. Let's run.
The
first one, I don't know your demeanor. It's like you don't really like this guy. I feel like you should appreciate him, give him a chance. But here we go. Here's Roland.
All right,
everybody, it's me, Roland Pruitt, and I'm sending these videos to the Big Monster Briefing Room because I found out they were doing Gamera versus Jiger on their show today. So I thought I'd send these videos in, giving a little commentary, hoping that Major Hazzard might put me on. First off, this movie came out in 1970. It was the last of the really good Gamera films, after Gamera versus Guiron. And then they started having really crappy movies after that with Gamera. Sorry. Of course, until the Rebirth films, the Gamera Guardians of the Universe. I think you did that one on your show before.
We did.
I have a hard time finding it though online. Anyway,
Gamera
fights a giant spiky rhino kind of monster who has all kinds of weird powers. He's got spikes. He's got a thing that injects you, puts a little bee in you. And
powers?
Anyway, it's a kind of a gnarly film, especially for kids. But anyway, it's a decent movie. And that's all I'm going to say here for this clip.
Decent? Distant? All right. So, okay, there we go.
I thought that was wonderful. I thought that was wonderful. And he thanked me specifically. I think you're a little jealous because he didn't thank you, General, specifically. But he said, he wanted Major Millie to run the clips, and I'm running the clips. So I think that's a very wonderful thing.
Well, he knows who runs the show. He knows you're the director.
We'll
Come
run
on.
the second.
He's not stupid.
I just think he's an absolute gentleman, and I'm very pleased to run the second clip. If you're ready to listen.
Oh, we're gonna run a
Let's
second
talk
one now.
about
Okay.
Jiger's powers in this movie, or his defenses. He has spikes that he shoots, and he hits Gamera in the arms and legs so that Gamera can't pull his leg into his shell and fly, and he gets stuck on his back. Okay, that's the first one. All right. So now Gamera knows to avoid that when he fights him again, but he doesn't realize that Jiger has a spike in his tail that he can use to inject you with a baby Jiger. Yeah, wow. And so that's really gnarly. So he also has a rainbow thing that comes out of his back that just scorches a whole entire zip code. He burns it right up, and just leaves guys, as skeletons. This is kind of like Godzilla versus the Smog Monster when Hera flies over and everybody is just reduced to skeletons and goo. It's, very traumatizing for children. Anyway, this is a good kids movie because of that. So Gamera has to fight all of these things. He has to get past all of these things to beat Jiger in the end. And I think he can do it.
Okay.
He's very hopeful that he can do it, and I love how he talked about the rainbow thing. I wish I had a real name, like instead of just rainbow thing. I wish there was something that we could call that,
That's
but it's
pretty
very
much how
intriguing.
you can describe it. It's a rainbow thing.
It's a rainbow thing.
It rainbows out of his back, it hits an area, and just completely takes out that whole area, scorches it, burns it up.
It's wonderful. And another thing I love about Roland is he's such an expert. He knows everything about everything, and I feel like maybe that's another reason you don't like him. He seems to know, more about this. He's just very educated about these things and very well spoken. And I'll just say that
he knows a lot about this stuff. Yes,
I might want to
the kaiju, the Japanese kaiju. If you were to ask him about a zombie or a vampire, he probably wouldn't know what the hell is going on.
Well, all right, point taken, but that's how expertise is.
But if it's about Godzilla or Gamera or Rodan or what have you, Mothra, yeah, he's there. He's on point. So, and that's good.
He's also very creative and sensitive. He does paintings. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're beautiful paintings.
I've seen his kaiju paintings. Yes, he paints kaiju. He paints Godzilla and Gamera and Rodan and Mothra and such.
Yeah, he's very.
I have got like a popcorn kernel or something stuck in my tooth. It's driving me nuts.
Oh, we're gonna get a General Howitzer noise soon, people. I think. Where's your peach tea? That's the problem. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. I've been looking at Roland. Sorry, I haven't paid attention to anything but Roland. We got one more.
I think you like Roland. I think you're sweet on him.
Well, I might, if he reaches out, I'm not gonna. Oh, stop. Just if he reaches out, let's just run that third video. It's okay. Let's not talk about it. You're getting me all crazy. You're getting me flustered. You don't want to fluster the Millie.
Are you blushing? Did you put a little red lipstick on your?
Did I pinch my cheeks? I might let Roland pinch my cheeks, but that's enough. Let's stop. I'm gonna run his what is it called now? A clip. Yeah, I can't think straight. I don't know what's going on.
You're gonna run his what?
I'm a little flustered. I'm flustered.
Yeah,
let's talk about all the monsters that Gamera has fought. He started out by himself being kind of a bad guy. He woke up, he's kind of cranky, That movie was in black and white, Gamera the Invincible. After that, he fought Barugon, who's a different Barugon. There's a Barugon in the Godzilla too. He fought Frankenstein. And then he fought Virus. He fought Gaios, which was probably his main nemesis, is the Gaios. Then he Virus. And then Guiron, which is a giant knife head monster. And then Jiger. And then Zigra, and later on in the reboot films, he also fought Iris and Legion. So these are the monsters that he's fought, and he's conquered all of them. There's also a baby Gamera that fought a monster. I haven't seen that movie yet. I've got it, but I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
No, so he doesn't know everything.
You know, you were just waiting for that. You just love seeing Roland mess up, but he never messes up. You
That
know,
movie's called
he's a
Gamera the Brave, by the way.
well,
It is an infant Gamera when he's first starting out, I guess. And
Gamera. Oh, I would love to see an infant Gamera. What is the rainbow thing an infant level of rainbow thing?
I don't think there's a rainbow thing in that movie.
There's no rainbow thing in that movie.
No, it's like him against a sea monster.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate Roland, and if Roland wants to ever send any more clips, we are open and ready to have them because he adds a lot, and I learned a lot from watching his clips.
All right, enough said. This movie is by the Dai Film Corporation, which also did the Majin movies, did all the Gamera movies. They are not Toho, so they are not the Godzilla. Fans of Godzilla and Gamera would love to see them team up or fight. Would love to see a Godzilla versus Gamera or them teaming up to fight something. But it's never happened because the two companies just don't want to work together, I guess. I don't know. I think that would be interesting, entertaining. This is Gamera versus Jiger. As Roland said, it was a 1970 film. I agree with him on this. This is probably the last good Gamera movie because Jiger was terrible. And then they did a Gamera like superhero thing in the 1980. It was just hideous. It was clips from the earlier films strapped together with a really ridiculous plot. And it was just not worthy. As usual, we have some young kids. They're the Asian. I'm going to say Asian and Caucasian because I don't know the names of these kids in this movie. I didn't write them down.
The Asian
but their
one
father,
and the Caucasian one. There you go.
The Asian one and the Caucasian one, and the Caucasian one has a little sister. Again, one of them always has a little sister. She's always very annoying. It's super sweet, cute, and it just makes you want to, open a vein on each wrist.
You always love
it's the love of children. He is so nice.
You always love all of the children in these training films. I love it. You get crazy about them.
They are a distraction in these training films.
No, you love them so much.
No.
It's adorable. I just
we
love
can do
it.
without them. and the worst one is the kid that's in Godzilla versus Hedorah. I'm sorry. Oh my God, that kid grates on my nerves.
You have an obsession.
I don't think it's the
with him.
kid himself. I think the kid probably did a pretty good job in the Japanese version of the movie. But when they get somebody to dub these kids in the American versions, it's just like, I think they just get adult women to dub them, like Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson's not a kid.
Right,
that show's been on for 28 years. It's a lady doing Bart's voice.
Yeah, she does.
And I can buy that. But these little kids all sound like,
Hey, oh, it's Gamera. Gamera is coming. He's going to save us. Gamera is the lover of all children.
they all sound like that. It's like you get the
That's
same person.
uncanny. It's uncanny you can do them that accurately because I was looking around seeing if there was a video playing.
And this guy, he's been in a couple of Gamera films. He's been in a few. He was in the last one that we did, Gamera versus Gueron, where he played the constable. Here he's playing the father. He's playing the father who's making a mini sub for the expo. It's kind of like the World's Fair kind of thing. It's the expo in Japan. And his kid, how cool would that be? To be a kid who has a father that can create a mini sub. So in any case, he's got a friend who's dating his sister who works at the expo, and he takes him in there and shows him around. And they're talking about, the expo and how cool it's going to be. And his friend, who's the Caucasian boy, his father is bringing in a huge totem from, I think it's Fiji or someplace like that. Anyway, he's going to bring a totem for this World's Fair kind of thing, this expo. So, and they're talking about it, and there it is. That's the totem right there. They're going to dig it up out of the ground. They're going to helicopter it over to a boat, and then the boat's going to bring it over to the expo.
Now, what is the cultural relevance of this totem? What is the relevance in Japan?
Well, we haven't gotten to that yet. Are you saying why is it so important that they get this particular totem to the expo?
Yes.
That's not really explained, other than it's a cool totem. And
okay.
At expos they do all kinds of science stuff. They do all kinds of artistic stuff. They they do stuff that kind of tries to bring the world together.
Okay.
So they're touring around the expo, and they see this guy who's from the place where the totem is coming from, and he is flipping out. I mean, he's just going berserk. He does not want them to take that totem and bring it here to this expo. He doesn't want them to remove it. And he is adamant about that. And they try to talk him down. They try to calm him down. And again, while they're doing that, these guys are already moving the totem. They're over there now with their helicopters and everything, and they're moving the totem.
They should have listened to him. You got to listen to people when they're trying to tell you something in an impassioned way, and they just didn't listen.
They did not. they didn't even tune in. So there's the Caucasian kid down there in the pith helmet and the red striped shirt. His father's in the pith helmet. That's how you know they're father and son. They're in the white pith helmets. The other guys are in the tan pith helmets. I think that's kind of racist, but anyway, there it is. So it's kind of like when you see a movie and you see the ancestor of somebody and it looks exactly like the actor that's playing the someone.
Yep.
Anyway, so they go forward with their plan. The helicopter pilots are all game to go, and all of a sudden Gamera shows up. He shows up, and he's not happy. He's like, he doesn't want him to move the totem pole. He's like, didn't you listen to the guy in the last scene? Come on, don't do it. That's what Gamera would have said if he could talk English.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to say.
The father, who's the head of the expedition, is like, shoot him. But Gamera's the
Dad is the lover of all children. Please, Daddy, don't shoot him.
And that's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
So here's the thing. The totem, and look, Gamera grabs onto it, trying to hold it down. No, you're not taking it away. Nope, put it back. The totem is actually keeping a monster in place. It's keeping a monster at bay. There's a kind of a way that it's carved that lets the sound come in, and it makes ultrasonic waves that keep this monster asleep. So if you pull the thing out, the monster's going to wake up and start wreaking havoc. And Gamera knows this, evidently. So they start shooting at Gamera, and his grip he loses his grip on the totem. The helicopter guys take it over to the ship. Gamera is trying to explain to them, but of course they don't speak Gamera. That hey, don't take this totem. It's not good. Not going to be good for anybody.
Gamera. How many people speak Gamera? I mean, is it just Gamera that speaks Gamera, or
I think so. Well, there might be a community of Gamera somewhere. I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering, if there's a whole community of them. There's got to be more than one. There's got to be. So for no apparent reason at all, the volcano blows up. Again, I don't think that the totem pole is keeping the volcano at bay. But it just is coincidence. Oh, look, the volcano's going up too. Unbelievable. So there it is. So they get the totem pole over to the ship. Now, then at the shore in Japan, they're testing out the submarine, and they're waiting for the boat with the totem to come. And and that's when the Caucasian boy and his little sister meet up with the Asian boy, and that we establish that they're good friends and that they know the father. By the way, the sister, that's his sister on the right there, and she's really strict. She's like a strict mother type, like a tiger mother. But they don't explain why there's no mother there. I mean, who would leave this guy? Seriously, he must be a widower. Handsome devil, look at him. I think he's adorable. He looks a little like Groucho Marx.
He's adorable. That's it. He's Groucho Marx. He's a funny guy.
He looks
that's the most ridiculous totem I ever saw. Well, Gamera's. I once shot a Gamera in my pajamas. How he got in my pajamas, I'll never know. Who would leave that guy? So anyway, that's his daughter. She takes care of the boy, and he's always butting heads with her. The kids in these movies are a little shall we say, naughty. That's the nicest word I could think of for that. They're kind of naughty. They kind of do what they're not supposed to do a lot, and they could get in a lot of trouble or even get killed. But hey, it's a Gamera film. Gamera will be there to save them. So back on the island, Jiger comes up out of the ground, and he's this big, gnarly-looking rhinoceros-looking kind of thing, and he's got spikes all over him. And he's also got this thing where he's got like suction cups on his hands, and he can and grab boulders and whatever's close by, and lob them at you. So Gamera shows up. He's been waiting. He knows he's coming out sometime, so he's been waiting. So Gamera shows up. They have a big fight, and this is when we see the first of Jiger's abilities. Okay, or as Roland says, his powers. Gamera, takes him for a ride, and drops him on the ground a few times, but he's got these spikes that he shoots out, and he hits Gamera in the arms, and it keeps him from pulling his arms into his shell and flying. So now Gamera can't fly, and then he gets him on his back as well, because he knows a turtle on its back. That's it. It's over. So Jiger is a pretty nasty monster, pretty smart, pretty nasty. And a volcano's going off in the background for no reason at all. It doesn't move the plot forward at all. Now, I kind of pieced these two slides together. It's amazing. It's almost a perfect fit. It's like a Gamera puzzle. He's got two spikes in his knees, through his kneecaps. Ouch! And 2 spikes through his forearms.
That is very unpleasant. That's very hurtful.
That's got to be painful. And again, Jiger pushes him on his back. He says, "That's it. You're over. I'm gone. I'm taking off. I'm out of here. Don't have more time for you." And he swims away. Swims away like a motorboat. So there's poor Gamera on his back. Now his teeth are pointing downward. On the ship, the kids are watching the ship from shore. Something's not right. The whole crew is infected with some kind of disease, or they're sick. They're really, really sick. The doctor, and there's this whistling sound that's making everybody go nuts. That's coming from the wind blowing through the totem pole there. Followed by Gamera versus knee replacement surgery. Yes. Thank you, John. Knee replacement. Yeah, he's scheduled to have that knee replacement along with Yao Ming. So after they pull the totem pole by helicopter off of the ship, Jiger shows up. He blows up the ship, runs right through it. He's trying to get to the totem. He wants to destroy the totem because he knows the totem can put him to sleep and keep him down. So, and he can jump. He can really jump high. White man can't jump. Well, Jiger can jump. So back on the island, Gamera is not able to pull his legs in. He's made that very clear. He's not happy about it. But he gets his tail around like a little... Which ones are the ones from the ground? Stalagmites and stalactites come down from the ceiling, right?
I think so.
Yeah, stalagmite, right? So he grabs his tail around a stalagmite, and we know as an audience that that's a good thing. That means Gamera, excuse me, a little peach tea burp. Gamera's going to get back on his feet again soon.
For. That's what the people wait for all the time.
Yeah, we know he's going to get out of it somehow. So back at home in Japan, Jiger is shooting his spikes through planes, and we see that he has the rainbow thingy. There he is using his rainbow thing on that zip code. I actually like that Roland said that it takes out a zip code. That's kind of funny. Anyway, so there it is. Look at it. There's a whole circle there just scorched. Now these guys are like, hell, we got to get out of here. This thing's heading our way. Let's get out of here. And the Gamera films are pretty light, but this one's actually kind of Jiger is a kind of a dark monster because they show the right after this, they show like the place where people go for safety. Oh no, they show Gamera. Hey, how you doing? Gamera's on his back still, but he's able to get the spikes out of his legs. And when he does that, that means he can fly. So he can pull his bottom legs in, shoot fire out of his legs. You know, he farts and flies, you know. And he was able to spin over, and then he's able to drag the ones out of his forearms. Problem solved. And now he's able to spin around like he always does. Because when he does that saucer spinning thing, it makes him go faster, I guess. I would think just the 2 jets from his ass would make him go faster, but
yeah, but this, but it's all about movement and leverage. It's all the propulsion and the way he leverages the wind currents. It's all very, it's physics general.
You would know better.
It's all, yeah.
You used to work for NASA, so you would know better.
Well, of course, and I still, I still do some things with them that I can't talk about, but me and NASA are like very closely connected. Yes, thank you for reminding the people.
Was that rocket supposed to blow up? The one that Elon Musk sent up this morning?
I can't talk about it. I can't say anything. Don't ask me about it. I can't say anything. My lips are tied. I mean, my hands are tied. I mean, my lips are sealed.
Lips are tied?
Loose lips sink ships. Loose lips sink rockets.
My lips are tied. I got to remember that one. So, yeah, they're showing the shelter. There we go. They're showing the shelter. And he uses the rainbow thingy again. There he is taking out a news team. And it just zaps the skin right off your bones. Burns you right up. We find out later that that's sound waves that are actually, they're like microwaves that are actually doing that to people, actually doing that to the area. They're scorching. It's kind of a sound wave. He's all about the sound waves. This Jiger. Everything is about the sound waves with him. So Gamera shows up. It's time for round 2. What did Gregory Gam say there? I can't read it. It's too small.
It asks rockets or national security. Nothing to see here.
You made me laugh. Sound effect. That's right. So yeah, deadly sounds. Sonic stuff going on. So Gamera lands, and of course they have another fight. Gamera is ready to whoop his tail, and come to think of it, yeah, he even picks up a nice tower and says, "Okay, I'm going to shove this up your up your Jiger hole." And then he doesn't realize that Jiger has another secret spike in his tail. Speaking of tails, and he zaps him in the neck with that, and Gamera starts to feel funny, and his hands start to turn. The blood starts going out of his hands and his face, and the kids are like, "Ooh,
what is happening to Gamera? Oh no, there's something wrong."
Just when we need a rainbow. Anyway, so Gamera kind of crawls his way over to the water because he's a turtle. Water's good for turtles. And he plops his face down in the water after it turns white from the blood going away from his hand and his face. And that's kind of weird. Yeah. So obviously whatever was injected into him is not good for him. And he's out. He's out for the count again. Jiger's taken him out twice now. So they have a big meeting with the guy who's the head of the expo, and he doesn't want to end the expo. He doesn't want to stop the expo. He's put a lot of money into this, and this is his baby. And they're saying, well, you got Jiger now, and it's not good. And they bring in a professional to tell us what's wrong with Gamera. And he says, well, I'm not sure. But obviously he's injected him with something that's causing a problem inside Gamera. He's still alive. We can still hear a heartbeat, but he's incapacitated. And that's the douchebag who, that's the guy who's the head of the expo. He's not a nice guy, and he doesn't like kids.
Save there. Nice save there.
Look at that face. A face only a mother could love.
There we go. We haven't had you saying that for a while.
I haven't said that in a while, yeah. And another expert who's there for no apparent reason just goes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, what he said. That's basically what this guy does for the whole movie. Yes, you're right. The children are right.
There's something weird about his hair and beard choice there. You know, the makeup crew. It's a little bizarre.
My feeling is it's a younger actor playing a very old man.
I think so.
And again, why? Why not hire a great old actor? You know, somebody who's known and people like.
Yeah, well, not just. No, they like this guy. Maybe this guy was talking sweet to the casting director. You never know.
Maybe it was the head of the last movie. I don't know. But okay, so
Jiger
Jiger is kind of relaxing. He's going to sleep. He has to relax after he does the rainbow thingy.
And rainbow thing is now the official way that we talk about it.
Rainbow thingy. That's it.
The rainbow thing.
Wearing a wig or a beard is fake. Well, yeah. That's what we were just saying. So now,
this thing, hold on. Everyone's looking at this thing. We're going to get questions about this thing. It's not what you think it is, okay? And there was something very similar in one of the Austin Powers movies. And there was something very similar that Jeff Bezos came up with. But, anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Are you talking about the thing flying through the air, the totem pole flying through the air?
Well, it doesn't look like a totem pole, General, but let's move along.
What, is your mind in the gutter? What do you think it is?
Let's just keep moving. I'm thinking about Roland too much. I'm distracted by the Roland video.
Oh my goodness. Did I start something here? Jiger takes the thing before he goes to sleep. He takes the thing, he throws it in the water where it's no good. And they send a plane up to take pictures of Gamera's insides, like X-ray photos from a plane up above him, so they can find out what's wrong with him. And they take those X-rays and they put them on a nice screen there that projects them up on the wall, kind of like one of those things from your classroom. What the hell are those things called?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I can't remember.
What those things were called. I can't remember what they're called. Like an overhead projector.
Overhead projector from back in the 80s.
Again, this was 1970, so it can't be too flashy with the technology. And the kids go, "Hey, we'll go in the submarine. We'll go save Gamera." And that's what they do. The two boys decide they're going to go in this special submarine and they're going to go inside Gamera. Now, here they're completely and totally ripping off Fantastic Voyage, where they go into somebody's body in a little tiny submarine and face the perils of the human body. And that's the guy, the widower, is telling his son, "Be careful, don't go down that way. You'll go to his stomach, and then his stomach's acid will disintegrate you."
Oh, okay.
So they turn away from that and they go in another way. They go into his lungs because they figure that's where the problem is. I don't know how they figure that out, but okay. They can certainly breathe in his lungs. And they watch them on the overhead projector. They've got a little beep showing where the submarine is, a little light. And the kids get out in the lungs and are shocked to find, and I think there's going to be something here interrupting this, but anyway. Oh, and Gamera's the same. Gamera has not moved. They're shocked to find that there's a little baby Jiger in there, which is about their size. And he comes out. Well, actually, he's a little bigger than them. He comes out, and he's chasing them through the lung, and he shoots out his Jiger goo. Okay, I don't mean to make you think about Roland anymore, but there's Jiger goo. There it is.
Don't even get me started. I'm blushing from here to Milwaukee. I don't need to be thinking
It's
about
very
it. I don't need to be
sticky.
thinking about it. Why
It
even put
causes the
this
kid to
in there?
stick to the ground, to stick to the lung there.
This was all a setup because you knew that Roland, you were gonna have the rolling clips and we were gonna get me all there, and then you had the clock
Get
rocket.
you all hot and bothered.
You got me all crazy because you're trying to take. You know what? This is the Russians trying to knock me off my game and get me distracted. It's not gonna work, Putin. It's not gonna work. I'm all business all day.
Why would
all
I
night.
do that? I'm
don't
just
know,
teasing
General.
you. Come on.
I
Have
don't
a heart.
know.
Yeah,
I
have
don't
a
know. I'm
sense of
very
humor.
suspicious. I'm very suspicious. We got to get rid of that one. I can't even think about it anymore.
The kid is stuck in. The kid is stuck in Jiger goo.
Jiger goo.
Yes. So he throws the phone because the phone is like making crackling noise and stuff. So he just throws the phone at Jiger, baby Jiger, and it sticks to baby Jiger, and it kills him. The sound waves from the phone. This is how they figure out that sound waves is the key to everything. And he has a very impressive death scene where he's kicking his legs up and all of that, and he's dead.
Very tragic.
That's what happens when you shoot too much Jiger goo too soon.
Don't even get me started. Nothing to see here, folks.
So the kids go back and they're like, well, Gamera hasn't, we killed the Jiger baby, but Gamera's, he's still the same. But hey, we can keep Jiger asleep by doing these sound waves to him. So they do that. And they said, let's go back into the submarine and we'll put some jumper cables in him and we'll zap him back to life. This is their plan. Something about Mary. She had a little Jiger goo in her hair. Oh, that's the electric plant. Yeah, they're gonna jumpstart him. Yeah, now somebody has just brought up a good point. There's still a baby Jiger in his lung rolling around, probably. That's probably not good. That's probably not healthy. It would have been nice if they'd have drug him out of there, hooked him up to the back of the submarine and drug him out. But anyway, I digress. Jiger realizes something's going on because even the sound waves don't keep him asleep. He's up. He's awake. But Gamera's got his color back. He's been zapped back to life, a la Frankenstein, Franken-Gamera. And he flies over to Jiger. It's time for another ass whipping. And hopefully it won't be Gamera this time. This is round 3.
I know Gamera will win because he's Gamera and he loves children.
There's got to be some line like that. So he shoots at Gamera and Gamera puts his head down in his shell. So that didn't work. That's round 1. That was from round 1. He tries the rainbow thingy, and Gamera rolls out of it. He rolls his shell and rolls out of it before it can burn him too bad. And again, he's in his shell. It's a protective shell. This is a shell that not even the Gaios laser could cut through, without shooting it multiple times. I can't read that. How? Something Gamera. Anyway,
Gamera got his groove back. Like how Stella got her
Gamera got his groove back.
He got his groove back. I agree.
He's using his fire now, which is good. Yeah, fire usually deters the villains. And he stomps his tail so that and breaks off the spike so that no more baby Jigers. He has made him sterile.
This is so
sterile Jiger.
This is so disturbing. It's so disturbing. It's tragic. Oh my goodness.
His tail kind of looks phallic too.
There's a lot going on in this training film. My virgin eyes can't hardly bear it.
Yeah. Gamera takes it. Let's go for a ride. Gamera takes him for a ride, flies him around, drops him a few times. You know, typical Gamera stuff. Jiger has run through all of his superpowers. Nothing works this time. So it's the end for Jiger. And there he is dropping down into the expo. By the way, they're destroying the expo. Because that's where the fight takes place, most of it. Expo is going to be a little late this year, folks. Gamera flies into the water to get, can you guess?
Oh, boy.
He's going to put his hand on it. He's going to grab the totem.
The totem.
The giant totem. Guess where he's going to put it?
Oh, my goodness.
So he's actually jumping at Gamera with the totem because he wants the totem. He wants to get rid of the totem. It makes him crazy. Please get rid of the totem. Oh, you want the totem, huh? You want the totem? Is that what you want? Well, here, take it. Pops it right between the eyes, right into his head. Ah! Wah, wah. That's how he sounds, by the way, Jiger. Wah, wah. That's the noise he makes. Until now. Now he's just quiet. Because he's got a big totem in his head. A big, phallic, stiff totem in his head. Right between the eyes. And even the kids are like, whoa, Gamera, that's cold. Look at the looks on their faces. Like, whoa, man. We knew you were a badass, Gamera, but man, that was really cold. So Gamera takes him back to the island. He's going to bury him back where he belongs, or maybe drop him in the volcano. They must have cut that scene, though, because the end credits roll right on this shot here, where Gamera flies away with Jiger's body and the totem back towards Fiji or wherever the hell it is that he got it from. The kids actually explain that as he's flying away.
Gamera's going to go back. He's going to take him back to his island, and he's going to bury him again, and he'll stay that way. We should not mess with things we don't know about. Goodbye, Gamera. Goodbye.
They always have an obligatory goodbye scene where they're all waving at him as he flies away.
Goodbye, Gamera. We love you. Goodbye.
All right.
That's the radio drama. You know, that would be the radio drama. You would see, you would just have those noises and it would be its whole thing. You do it.
We love you, Gamera. You're the savior of all children.
Flies off into the sunset.
Do you think Gamera really has a heart? Like, he understands the love of the children. Do you think this is a two-way street, or is it basically a one-sided, love?
For the sake of marketing for these films, which came out after Ultraman started to hit the television. Ultraman started in about 1966 on TV in Japan, and kids. Again, all the Godzilla movies and Rodan movies and the early Mothra movies and stuff, they were made for adults. They weren't made for kids. They were much grittier and darker than the ones of the late 60s and the early 70s. I mean, that's when it was all marketed to kids. So Gamera's first movie, he's kind of a bad guy. He woke up, he's kind of, upset and grumpy, and he's destroying everything. And I mean, yeah, he's knocking down discotheques with, kids that don't want to go home, So yeah, these films, by the time they got to these films, in the late 60s, early 70s, yeah, it was all about the kids. So they marketed him as the savior of the children. Godzilla became a hero. Oh, Godzilla will protect us. He's the savior of mankind. So that's the whole thing. I mean, it was all about making a buck. Parents, take your kids to see Gamera. Parents, take your kids to see Godzilla. they didn't think Godzilla was going to make it as far as he did in the movies because, again, Ultraman and TV, basically took over the industry. And Godzilla was even on a TV show called Zone Fighter. He was a guest, and Ghidorah and Gigan. I think we talked about this on the show once before. And it got so silly that he had his own bat cave kind of thing, where the cave actually had a doorway that opened up like that, and he came out. So it was kind of hokey. And then they fought monsters. Him and this Ultraman kind of guy called Zone Fighter. They fought monsters together. So
did you see that Sergeant Havoc is in the crowd, and he said, "Y'all are having way too much fun and getting kind of naughty." You know what, Sergeant? What happened was this one here got naughty. He started the whole ordeal. He was giving me all these clips from Roland, knowing that Roland is a sex magnet. He knew that was my weakness, trying to get me off my
sex magnet.
Everybody knows that about Roland. Everybody knows the glasses are super mega hot. He's a hottie. He's a baddie, like the kids say. And he got me all riled up because, the Russians are trying to get me off my game.
He still lives with his mother.
He's a family man. That's a beautiful thing. He has an open heart. How they treat the mother is how they treat the woman. So, it's all a good thing. And the general's just jealous because Roland knows far more about Gamera than the general knows, and he gets jealous.
There it is. Yeah, I'm jealous. That's it.
That's what happens. It's very unfortunate.
That's exactly it. I'm jealous.
Roland is a very sweet boy, and we have to we have to appreciate him. He's very passionate. He's very educated, very intelligent, and like I said, he's a painter. He's a sensitive artist. We have to sponsor our sensitive artists.
The sex magnet.
Roland is definitely the sex magnet. All the women knows what I'm talking about.
Kind of like that totem pole.
Yeah. Yes, Sergeant, you missed it. You missed it, Sergeant. There was a quark rocket in the sky and everything. He's been goading me on this whole time, trying to get me all distracted.
I was kind of wondering what the Jeff Bezos reference was to, but okay, all right, I got it.
It was to the quark rocket, and you know very well what you were doing, General. You were getting me all hot and bothered. I don't know.
Well, I knew what I was doing when I was talking about Jiger Crew.
To what end?
Just fun. I gotta amuse myself during these shows sometimes, So yeah, that's our training film, Gamera versus Jiger. Godzilla actually made a hell of a lot more movies. Gamera only made a handful in the 60s and 70s, and then they made three remakes, and then the one that Roland was talking about with the baby Gamera called Gamera the Brave. So he hasn't made half the movies that Godzilla has, but he's still very popular. People like him. People dig the giant turtle. And I think that a matchup between Godzilla and Gamera would be very entertaining. Would be amusing. But I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Well, maybe you never know. Maybe you put it out there as an idea. Or, that Rory Penland, he's always doing movies and writing scripts for movies that get made up. Maybe that Rory Penland, you talk to your friend, maybe he could do the movie. You never know.
I don't know about that. Anyway.
He's connected, that one.
Since we have some time, let's talk about some other shows. Right after us.
This is a big one.
No Icing with Dritta. Pan Orea is going to be the guest tonight.
She's a big
of course,
friend of
Rory
the
Penland, who you mentioned, is usually on the show. Renee Jaworski is usually on the show. Excuse me.
We love Pan. Pan's a fan of this show, and she's also she's a friend of the network. She's got her own show. She's got lots of shows going on over there.
Got her own network.
She's got her own stuff going on, and she even has improv shows that Rory goes on, which is very funny. Rory is very funny. And Renee went on the last time too, and they were doing their scene. I laughed myself silly. It was hilarious.
I like when she plays a little pan flute. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
You had to do it. You had to go there. But that's coming up right now. So you guys can just stay tuned. You're going to be seeing all of that. It's going to be fun. We'll learn all about Pan and her journey, and there's a lot of new shows coming on too. Mondays, we got two guys. They talk about movies.
And sometimes a gal.
There's sometimes a gal that pops up, and they're going to be talking about Sean Connery and all of the Bond films that Sean Connery did this Monday. That's right.
Yeah, I'll be talking about Connery Bond movies and probably a little George Lazenby, I think. So that'll be interesting.
A little dash of it. Yeah, a little dash of George.
Next week on the Big Monster Briefing Room, where we're going to be doing The Stuff, which I think was supposed to be shot as a TV movie, and it ended up being an actual theatrical release. It stars Michael Moriarty. It stars Garrett Morris from Saturday Night Live as Chocolate Chip Charlie.
That sounds delightful and wonderful. That sounds
Sergeant
so
Havoc will be here for that. And hopefully Julio Morales will join us for that. I think he wants to weigh in on that one. So to have the two of those together in the same place should be magical.
I was just going to say, because they're both experts, they're both super geniuses, they're both super intelligent, and they both know their stuff, just like Roland.
They both know their stuff.
They know their stuff. They know all of. They know they have made of the right stuff. Have you heard of the right stuff? What are you trying to talk about the crock rocket again? Are you doing?
No. The stuff is the stuff you eat, and it becomes it comes out of your body to kill people.
Oh,
and
sure.
It opens the mouth really wide.
I don't believe it. You get me all wild. He's getting me all wild.
And it's white stuff.
Oh my gosh! You see, instead of the right stuff,
and people can't get enough of it. They love it, the stuff.
And Sergeant Havoc said the stuff made me stop eating yogurt. Yeah, I understand that. Exactly
I can see that. I can see that. It was a very disturbing training film.
Very, very disturbing.
The stuff is this white goo that shoots up out of the ground, and it's very delightful. It's very tasty. And it takes over your brain, basically, and makes you want to eat it all the time. And it just messes you up. Just really messes you up.
I will tell you that every woman in the audience is viewing this conversation in a different way, because we all know what they're talking about, right? There is something out there that hypnotizes your brain, and you need it, but it hypnotizes you. Ladies know what I'm talking about.
This show went naughtier, I think, than Godzilla versus Hedorah.
We got a little crazy.
We were talking about vagina eyes.
Let's hope that no icing plays a little bit more inside of the
a little tamer, a little calmer.
Drita knows how to be a little tamer. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
We got the vapors.
We're getting the vapors. But yeah, Julio and the Sergeant together would be a beautiful thing. Julio and the Sergeant, they're both so intelligent, and they add so much. So I'm looking forward. I don't think they've ever met.
Both sex magnets.
They're both sex magnets, not as much as Roland, because Roland has Roland is his own breed. I think he's the most desirable, but that's, different strokes.
Roland is definitely his own breed.
He's his own breed of man, but he's a very loyal man. I could tell he's definitely a loyal man. He loves his mom. He's a mama's boy. That's a very nice thing. I bet he just needs a woman to pamper him. That's all he needs.
I'm glad he has a huge fan in you. That's why he named you my name. He knew. He knew.
He could tell. Yeah, he could tell.
Next Tuesday on Rory Penland Show, It's Casual. Comedian Jeff Shaw is going to be on, and that should be a lot of fun.
Talk a little bit about Shaw in the minute we have left, about how people would know about Shaw. What are you going to talk to? What is Rory?
He is a huge stand-up comedian, very well known in the stand-up comedy world. Does a lot of cruise ships now, and this past year it's kind of been up and down for him. He's had some medical issues, but he continues to work. He's just a workhorse. And again, when you see him, you'll probably go, "Oh yeah, I know that guy." He's got an interesting kind of comedy, and that's all I'm going to say. I want to keep it a secret, what kind of comedy he does, because I don't want to give away everything. And again, it'll be a fun show. I guarantee it.
I was on mute. I didn't know. I was.
You got quiet there.
I was on mute, and I was fantasizing a little bit.
So,
and
folks,
Well, hold on. The sergeant said my magnet is set on repel. My magnet is set on repel. That's what he said.
Your magnet is set on repel.
And Julio said that his magnet doesn't work. There's a lot of stuff going on about magnets now because of this sex magnet. They called Roland the sex magnet.
Well, okay then.
The general is now getting a little. He's getting scandalized. Everybody, he doesn't want to weigh in, but he was the one with the clock rocket and with the Roland videos and all of that. You know, you started
And
all
the
of this-
Jiger goo.
and the Jagger goo.
That was my favorite part. The Jiger goo.
That's true, and we all
He's spewing it at kids. Oh my God!
well,
What a terrible
we did.
monster.
We started the whole thing with a smudge.
The smudge.
You
The
don't remember
schmutz?
there was the smudge on the screen? We were talking about the smudge. the
Oh
fast-
yeah. Well, again, you said that. I was like, I'm glad I didn't lick the lens there because of what I might been. Boy,
Oy
I was
vey.
just looking up there.
Well, we started the
What
whole
is
thing
that?
talking about smudges, wondering what kind of goo that was. It was goo
I look
and
fairly clear though, so I'm guessing it's not as bad as it looks. So there you go.
there were goos and smudges for the entirety of
You
the
got
show.
kids in your lab?
We got kids everywhere. But I'm not in the lab right now. You know, I'm not in the
Oh,
lab. But that's what we
this is why
stand
you're not
for.
on
Right?
camera.
We are the last defense, and the children always come first. Correct. So we're trying to protect everybody, keep everybody safe. The last defense.
Major Hazzard is the protector of all children. Dun, dun, dun. Major Hazzard. Dun, dun, dun. He will protect us. Thank you, Major Hazzard. Goodbye. Goodbye, Major Hazzard.
Oh, that's a TikTok. You just earned yourself a TikTok.
Oh, I'm gonna be on TikTok again. Uh-oh.
No, you just earned yourself a TikTok. And somebody just said Roland the Sex Magnet needs to be its own show. And I absolutely agree. The Date Life of Roland
Oh,
needs to
please.
be its own show.
No, please.
Yes, please. The people demand it. The people want it. Okay, we got to get out of here because Treats is coming up
Be
right
careful
now.
what you wish for. That's
Be
all I'm gonna
careful.
say.
I would watch every minute of it. A reality show. All right, bye, everybody.
Keep
Thank
an
you
eye
for
out for those
tuning
big
in.
monsters.